me, Matt here from Curb Promo again, talking about music marketing, talking about online music management, and doing another vlog for you so you can get to know me and what we're doing here at Curb. Now, things have been pretty busy with Curb at the moment. We're starting to pick things up a whole lot and moving into providing kind of all over holistic kind of online management services for artists. And so obviously getting a lot of emails into my email box about what it is we actually do for artists. Now you got to remember, my whole thing is online marketing, management, business models. You know, I try to help my artists build their businesses up from the ground up, and it means kind of not buying into this whole traditional idea of what the music industry is supposed to do. Now, in the 20th century, it was all about selling recordings of your songs, not so much anymore. Now, we need to have artists that are building a powerful brand, that reach out to their fans. That way, they can engage them in propositions that are not necessarily about recordings. You've got to understand that kids growing up these days, they're not thinking about paying for CDs or anything like that. That's not what they're interested in. They still want to connect with musicians. We all still want to be involved with the musicians that we respect and look up to, but that brand has to develop into new propositions to get basically a business, a real business happening. And let's talk about what a real business is. A real business is when you provide something that your fans want. Your fans already respect you, they respect your music. That's the first thing of what we're doing when we're developing music branding. But then that's got to be turned into a business model. That's why I'm not the guy who comes along, clicks his fingers, waves a magic wand and turns you into a superstar. I can't do that. I mean, but if your songs are good and you're committed to it, then we can start to build an online business model. And now, how do we do that? Let me talk to you about what we're actually doing that is working out. Now, first, you've got to have your own website. If you don't have your own website, if you're still relying on MySpace, then there's so much that you can't do. There's so much business that you can't do. You can still do the whole thing where, you know, you get fans and fans think you're awesome and you tell them all about your album, but if no one wants to buy your album, then where does that leave you? You need to be in control of your own website. That way you're in control of your own business and what you're doing with that. So you've got to have your own website. Now, how do you interact with fans in a way that's going to lead to positive business propositions? Business that they're interested in doing with you. You know, that moment, I talk about it, when their wallet comes out and they give you money. Right, okay. So, you have got to be able to communicate them and facilitate the interaction process. Now, that may sound complicated, but all it means is that you stay in contact with them, you keep them engaged in what you're doing, because so often I have these clients who are doing publicity campaigns, they're getting their music played out, and what happens next? What happens when your fan hears your song on the radio? They will Google you, most likely. If your website doesn't come up immediately, then it's going to make it very hard for them to find you, buy what you have to offer, or get involved in what you're doing. So first, that CEO, that Google thing is important. If you are doing publicity and your name is getting out there, but there is no access for your fans to find out about what you're doing, then you're not going to be in a good position. Now, what's going to happen when they arrive at your website? What are they going to do then? Are they going to buy something? Most likely not. They're not going to buy the songs, they're not going to buy the albums, because the industry has shifted from there. There's no impetus for people to buy and own the music anymore. They're just going to want to stream it, they're just going to want to hear it a few times. It's more about developing equity in your brand. Now, that can be turned into something. When you can demonstrate to other business partners that you have the attention of these fans, then, you know, when you can illustrate the numbers, then you're in a strong business position. Not when you've got a bunch of great songs. That's why I talk on my blog about people who are spending a lot of money investing into their recordings. Now, having great recordings and great songs is important, but is that going to be the basis of your business model? The basis of your business model now is the fact that you are a musician and that you have a strong brand and you are seen as a hero to these people. You live a life that they don't. And this is basically a fundamental part of music branding. People are buying into your brand. They are giving you their attention as a music artist that they respect. So from that position, that's where you develop your business into partnerships with other groups that can provide value for them that they will pay for. Because the value that they pay for may not be in your songs anymore. It's going to be somewhere else. You know, people haven't stopped spending money and people haven't stopped looking up to musicians. So it's about building a music business model out of those two things. Alright, so that's why we use email management. Because it doesn't matter whether MySpace falls over, or Facebook falls over, or Twitter falls over, or whatever. These are just sites where fans are gathering to interact, and you have an opportunity to interact with them and get to that email management point. Because once you've got to that point, then you've got to develop a relationship you can develop into a proposition. A proposition which means selling them something that may perhaps not be your music, but also, most importantly, developing a relationship. Not just rushing in to try and sell them something because you think you're cool. You're actually developing, you know, you're an entertainer. You provide these people with entertainment. Now that television and other forms of media are declining, people are going to be looking to their RSS feeder, the blogs that you provide. They're going to be looking to the newsletter to see entertainment. And that's what you are, an entertainer. You've got to provide entertainment through your blog, through your newsletter, so that people are engaged enough by your brand to either want to buy what you've got, or you're going to go into a brand sponsorship kind of situation. So, you've got your email management. How do you get people to sign up for that email? Well, we've got two strategies that we're using right now that are providing really effective results for our artists. First is PPC advertising on Google. Now, if you go into this without expertise, then you could find yourself spending a lot of money that you don't need to spend. MySpace, Facebook, yes, they have PPC programs, but they are not as effective as Google because they're part of an interruption process. The people are on MySpace and on Facebook to hang out with their friends. By throwing some ads in there, you're not really going to get the result you're looking for. All you're going to get is an interruption, which is going to cost you. Because on Google, with the expertise of someone like me who knows PPC, we're getting those clicks down to about 5 cents each at the most. So that means our artists are spending $1 a day, $1 or $2 a day. They're getting 20 to 50 people coming through their website every day. Remember, they're highly targeted by Google Ads to people who are looking for specific terms, and up to 4 of those people are signing up per day. That means $1 per day is buying 4 fans, up to 4 fans. So that is really powerful. Once you've tipped $250 into it, you may already have your 1,000 true fans. Now those are numbers that represent something to business people that you could be partnering with. And they also give you a platform to build your brand virally. You now have 1,000 people who have accepted your correspondence, and they're accepted that they want to hear about what you're doing. So where you move on to from that point is basically providing the entertainment and the propositions that engage your fans. Now we're going to talk about branding, of course, and on my blog you can go along and check it out, http://www.musicmarketingmanagement.com. You can read all about it there, but of course I'm going to be back real soon with another video now that I've stopped reading. Am I good? And am talking off the top of my head. It's improvisation, telling you all about the advantages of online music marketing with Curb. And of course, don't forget that you can give me an email on curbpromo@gmail.com, KURBPROMO@gmail.com, or you can give me a call on +64 27684 8250. You better check the time in New Zealand before you do that. Give me a call in the evening and we can talk all about your music marketing, your online music branding and management. How to build a solid business model. This is me, Matt from Curb. Cheers. Oh man, that was a long video.